Okay, gentlemen, another quick fire round, 30 seconds each, and we take it from there. Should Russia intervene in Sudan? Simply put, Hussein Abdul-Hussain, please take the lead.
I don't think Russia should intervene, only because Russia doesn't have the same goals of bringing peace. Russia has its own interest. Most of the time, we will see trafficking of illicit trade increase on the Russian watch. So I'd rather not see the Russians just multiply whatever they're doing in other countries, including in Russia.
Michael Tracy, your take?
But hold on a second. I'm not in the business personally of advocating for any country to intervene anywhere for the most part, but why ought not Russia intervene if it's going to bring about the alleviation of humanitarian suffering that it's claimed needs to be carried out because they have other geopolitical imperatives? Well, gee whiz, does that mean the United States might as well have other geopolitical imperatives that could be separate from just this pure-hearted humanitarianism? I don't know. It's a theory worth pondering.
Hussein, does it matter why? What's the motivation?
Russia.
Yeah.
Russia already involved in Sudan. Russia is sending and supporting the malicious groups, and they are in Sudan we call Janjaweed, and they are Hamdan for Hamiti groups, and they are until they are they are destroying, they are killing civilians, so they are supporting already many years. So Russia's totally decide the side and support to who.
Okay, gentlemen, let's please feel free to interact on this from this point onwards. I do want to circle back to what Sergei Lavrov just said. On a more fundamental level, should governments have the right to turn to foreign paramilitary groups? Hussein Abdul-Hussain?
Well, in principle, they can. The only issue is that whatever group commits any kind of combat, this group has to be under the authority of a known government. If a group is not under the authority of a government, then it becomes a terrorist group. I think this question that the Russian foreign minister did not answer. So he did not say whether this group was actually under Russian supervision and authority, or whether who pays this group, who gives orders to these groups. If it's an independent group, then we have a problem. If Russia's behind the group, then fine. Let them just say this is one of the groups that serves the interests of the Russian Federation.
Michael,
can I ask the think tank representative here, who is, as usual, a representative of huge amounts of military-industrial interest in Washington, D.C., whatever his own personal views, that's the institution he belongs to. So I'm just curious. Let's say the Russian state or the Wagner Group or whomever does have foul motives in its rationale for why it might intervene in Sudan, but nonetheless, it would bring about an alleviation of humanitarian suffering, whether by providing food or medicine or what have you. You'd still oppose that because of the foul motive? Why? Well, is it because that your chief concern isn't actually the alleviation of human suffering, but rather it's the propagation of certain geopolitical interests? Because if Russia would expand its influence by engaging in these humanitarian actions in Sudan, so what? If your sole priority is to make it so that people aren't suffering as much as they are now, then that shouldn't matter to you, right?
Mr. Abdul-Hussain, yeah?
Sure, yes. Well, I find it really ironic that the gentleman who is not Arab, who's sitting in New York, is lecturing the two of us who are Arab, one of us who's from Sudan. And the gentleman from Sudan clearly stated that he'd rather have the West intervene for humanitarian support, and that he perceives a Russian intervention as destructive. So if you have someone from Sudan,
he changed the subject.
No, hold on.
Gentlemen, Michael, let's allow Mr. Abdul-Hussain.
Michael, I'm going along the same lines that you're trying to use. You are a colonial person sitting in New York giving instructions to people of the region who know the region. You can't even read a Sudanese newspaper, whereas we can. So I advise you to
blame the host of the show. They invited me on to talk to you. I'm not affiliated with the military think tank like you.
Gentlemen, yes. Let's please try to.
Excuse me, ma'am. Am I crazy, or did I hear him try to impugn me on the basis of me being white?
No,
did I hear that correctly?
Again, we got a bit too
right?
heated at this point of the debate.
Well, that wasn't a function of what I said. That was what he said. He said I'm not Arab, therefore I have no right to comment. Then why did you invite me on the show?
No, we invite all three of you on the show because we find it important to listen to all different
I've heard
views.
a lot of pathetic rhetoric from think tank operatives in my life, but
I'm having an issue.
Okay.
I'm having an issue with Michael. He's putting words in my mouth all the time. First, he said
did you say
that I was for
that
intervention,
I have no right
which
to
I was
comment
not.
because I'm white or not?
Second, he said I said that he does not have the right to express his opinion,
You said I'm
which
not
he's
Arab.
doing, and which I'm
not an Arab.
debating with goodwill. I said you're Arab. It means
That's not
you
a
don't
goodwill.
understand the
That's not a
story
goodwill
as
comment.
much
That's
as from someone
that's
from
a
Sudan
despicable
itself.
impugning of me on the basis of my identity characteristic. What is wrong with you?
It has nothing.
This is
It has
pathetic.
nothing to do with your
Gentlemen.
identity.
Michael, I'm trying to understand.
I've heard a lot of
Gentlemen.
pathetic rhetoric
Guys.
from
Gentlemen.
think tank operatives
Gentlemen.
over the years, but this is among the most despicable.
Okay, obviously some lack of a proper understanding of one another here. Our
I
goal.
understood him perfectly.
Okay, let's try to take a deep breath and go back to the topic of discussion. My apologies if I mishandled or
No, you
did
have
not
nothing to
mediate
apologize.
the conversation properly.
I would never dream of
Yusuf,
commenting on your racial characteristics, sir.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding your
thank you.
lavish funding from defense
Michael,
contractors.
Yusuf and Baraka, please chime in here. Let's try to get back on topic. Are there any prospects for returning to a democratic transition in Sudan at this point in time? Is the international community strong enough to foster peace at this day and age?
Well, first of all, there's no hope to see the cease peace in Sudan. So, as I mentioned, Russia and other countries, they are supporting to Janjaweed groups and militias, and they are continue and they killing civilians. So there is no hope to see any peace in Sudan or even democracy in Sudan. Like coming couple years, even we don't see that. So in this case, we have to let's say we have to give the awareness to Western countries. They have to involve and they have to even to find any ways how to bring even the military force in Sudan and try to find the people who is killing the civilians and to make a better situation in Sudan, because we are as Sudanese, we really need the government of Sudan will be democracy and not dictatorship as was until today.
Okay, gentlemen, on that note, we must conclude our conversation. Again, we truly do appreciate your different views on this topic and any other
racial characteristics to receive his Raytheon sinecure.
Okay, again, gentlemen, thank you very much. My apologies if it got a bit out of hand. Michael Tracy, Hussein Abdul-Hussain, Hussein Baraka, thank you very much for this. Thank you.